Hi, everybody. This is 4 Years of FACT, a reflexive mixed methods analysis of research contributions, shortcomings, and future prospects. Our project set out to understand the research topics, values, and community norms within FACT. In doing so, we hoped to spark new thinking about what FACT is and what FACT ought to be. As a paper that is in FACT, but it's also about FACT, we use the topic of reflexivity as a lens to approach our study. In particular, we're interested in FACT's themes, values, impact, and community. So now I'll briefly go over the data that we use to analyze FACT. Our study reflects those who self-selected to take our survey, and the paper is previously published at FACT. In total, we draw from 60 survey responses and 212 papers. With that background in mind, now I'll summarize the mixed research methods we use to understand FACT. A central method in our analysis is a survey of FACT community members. The survey contained a mix of open-ended and quantitative questions. We sent the survey to all FACT authors and committee members, so I apologize for the spam, and we got 60 responses. Our other methods included manual coding of every FACT paper that has been published since FACT began, LDA topic modeling on the full text of FACT publications corpus, low-vein community detection on the citation network, and finally, a natural language processing method called Moral Foundations Dictionary, which estimates the underlying moral assumptions in a body of text. Now, while there isn't time to go over all the exciting findings in this short talk, I'll just put a few categories of findings that I hope convince you to read the paper. In our analysis, we find the most common topics and communities among FACT papers, most notably fairness and machine learning, or FML, as I like to say. The topics that are becoming increasingly popular, such as accountability, affiliates' views on the impact of FACT on particular domains like criminal justice and education, views on the interdisciplinarity of FACT and its peer review process, how FACT community defines impact, community members' views on the influence of industry on FACT and its implications, and finally, major criticisms and suggestions from the FACT community members. So now I'll end with a few takeaways and acknowledgements. In this study, my collaborators and I set out to analyze FACT researchers. Ultimately, some of the most crucial findings were contributed by the FACT researchers themselves. So we believe this study is a good example of participatory reflexive research. We also want to point out that all of our findings about relative frequency and views of topics are not intended as normative arguments coming from the authors, but instead simply a reflection of FACT. All research communities choose to focus on some things more than others, but too often community priorities are not made consciously. Instead, they emerge from the community's tastes, presumed values, or particular viewpoints that happen to be represented. Our work tries to centrally communicate priorities at FACT so that unconscious, emergent aspects can be brought to the attention of the community and can be more consciously and carefully considered. And to other academic communities out there, we hope this participatory approach might serve as an example of reflexive research practices, especially for young scholarly fields. Thank you so much, and that's it.